Hello, everyone, and good morning. Today is December 4th, 10 a.m., and the markets are up and running. So this video, I'm just going to go over my watch list for today. I'm going to pick about a handful of stocks that I researched last night. I like the way the setups are, and I'm going to give some recommendations on them. Again, this disclaimer, trade your style. I'm just sharing my style and what's been successful for me. But you should never blindly follow anyone's trade. Again, because no one has the right to tell a stock which direction to go. All we can do is get as much information as we can, and choose a direction, right, to make money. So with that said, um, there's a lot of good stocks out there. I like to say, comparing to like the basketball, there's only one Michael Jordan who was, unarguably the greatest basketball player to ever live. Um, but with the stock market, there are thousands of Michael Jordans. Stocks. Now, thousands of Michael Jordan stocks, and that's what makes this so hard because it's unfortunately you have too much variety, which is a good thing, but sometimes you can get you get paralysis by over analysis because you just got too much information. So anyway, hopefully my channel will help you consolidate some of the information, and we can choose which Michael Jordan. Actually, a better analogy would be, let's say, the NFL, where you choose. You don't have to choose from one. You can choose many, well, the same with basketball too, but you can choose many legends to be on your team, right? You can choose a lot of successful people. You can choose a Drew Brees, a Tom Brady, Russell Wilson. There's so many great quarterbacks to choose from. They're all great, but you got to figure out which one works for your team. Same thing with stocks. Which of these greats work for your team? We're in a point. The beauty of the stock market is it's not. You're not drafting. You can draft. You don't have to just draft college kids for your team. You can draft all-time greats. So, with that being said, let's get going. The first thing you want to do, the first thing I like to do, is check out SPX, the S&P 500. This tells me the overall stock market. I mean, there's other indexes. You got the Russell, you've got the Dow Jones. Everybody kind of picks one, but to me, they all kind of follow each other. Like one will gap up and be trading higher, then the other one will kind of catch up. So you got SPX, SP 500. It's in a nice uptrend. I like to use. Yeah. Also, another disclaimer: I say a lot. I try not to, but I'm thinking like because I don't have a script. I'm just going off of my knowledge and what's in my heart, and I just speak into it. So sometimes that's my way of thinking. So don't get too aggravated by that. Oops, I just did it now. Now we have the RSI. The RSI is an overbought territory, and we have the MacD. The MacD is trading a little high too. So this shows an uptrend, but not a strong one. And also we're hitting the top of this Bollinger Band. So I use Bollinger Band, RSI, and MacD indicators, as well as my own eyes to help determine direction. Those indicators assist me into verifying what I feel the stock is going to go. Also, it's kind of a way of checks and balances or accountability, maybe a better word for it, because we all want to like. I'm a Star Wars fan. We all want to use the Force to move the stock up, right? Or our own mind. Sometimes your own. It's hard to fight your own emotion and think, okay, it's going to go up. We want to go. You have a goal in mind, and a lot of us are, achievers, right? If you have the money to invest in the stock market, you've had some success in your life, and it's been based off of your decisions. The stock market takes advantage of that because you look at something and you say, okay, this is what it should do. Even though you don't have control of what it should do, you think this is what it should do. And then the stock market know you're thinking that, and they may show you signals of upside and then reverse it on you, and and then you're stuck in a position. So anyway, that's another video. Anyway, so I check SPX and I also check the VIX. The VIX I like to use is VXX. You can do VIX, which is the actual VIX, but I like to use VXX because I trade it. This is a tradable, and it trades off of the movement of the VIX. So I rather just cut out the middleman, and because I like to trade this, especially on days where I'm not sure where the market's going to go, and so I'll just trade the VIX. And the VIX is, to be honest, most people should, especially beginner traders, should trade the VIX options. Now, I wouldn't do the actual stock because it's unless you're shorting it. Um, the actual VIX trades down. It goes towards the downside where everything else goes up. So when the VIX is up, that means the stock market is down. When the VIX is down, the stock market is up. It's called the fear index. It's selling. So if there's a big sell off, and our best example always is COVID back here in March, right? Look at that, gapped up, gapped up. So now, if you were in the market in March and you saw the VIX levels come all the way up here, right? Look at this. Let's zoom in. I hate playing I hate going back to the past and act like I'm Nostradamus, but this is, see, if you seen this move, see, look, if this was the VIX, right? Stay down here, and then all of a sudden, and we knew about COVID, we knew it was in China and stuff, and it started spreading. We knew it was in Italy really bad, and the market started getting fearful. Look at that, selling starts to happen, and right here, especially if it's never, I won't say never, but if these are high levels, right? We had a high level back here in December. But once you see these high levels, that's a red flag, right? Not saying sell, but maybe stop buying, right? Or buy puts to protect your position. And it jumped up, right? This is all-time high, man. Look at this for the VIX, 74. And then it started to consolidate down, back to doing what it did. But we had some spikes because we had lockdowns and all kind of, we were trying to figure out the COVID thing, and then the president would say stuff that kind of scared the market, or then we had conflicting information and all this other stuff. Then we got hope, like, okay, this is gonna happen, and nope. So a lot of undecisiveness, but usually this is high, like this thing being in the 20s and 30s. And actual VIX, I think, is like 10 points higher than this, but so you got the VIX. So I always look at the VIX before to start every morning off, because if I see like a uptrend pattern, excuse me, with the VIX, then that tells me beware of what I'm buying, right? It doesn't mean stop buying, but beware. Like yesterday was a green day for the VIX, which is bad for stocks, right? And then also look at this. Look at the RSI is bouncing from underbought to heading towards overbought. I mean, this is a good sign. This blue line starting to come back down, but we don't want this trending up, right? And then the MacD is starting to show green here, which is not a good sign. And we have a cross of the blue line. Anytime this blue line is above the red line, it's an uptrend. So there's some fear coming into the market now. So be very careful. It could be because of EVs. I know a lot of EV stocks are the MACDs has crossed into the downside on a lot of EVs right now. So just be careful on what you buy next few days, because that the VIX is starting to have a little momentum to the upside, which is not good for stocks. It's not bad at the levels it's at, but don't expect big booming returns right now with the VIX like that. Okay, all right. So let's go back to my watch list. So my throat getting a little dry. I gotta take my morning protein shake. It's cranberry juice and fruit-based protein, vegetable-based protein. All right, so I have, yeah. Oh, so these are my. Let me show you guys my It's my Biden stocks. So these are the stocks I am watching as we get closer to inauguration day. Because I believe these. I mean, it doesn't matter what your politics is. This is about money, and these are the stocks that will be. I believe will benefit. I mean, the list could be much longer. I'm sure these are stocks I believe will benefit from a Biden administration, but that'll be another video as far as a breakdown on that. I got my EVs. This list could be longer too. They're taking a actually now it's piqued my interest. They're taking a beating, man. Tesla's up though. It's weird though, because Tesla. It's funny because when NIL was booming, Tesla was kind of stale, and then now NIL is dropping, Tesla is strong. And it makes sense though, because of the legislation with Chinese stock that's in the news right now, and so Tesla. I mean, they have factories on American soil, and I don't know if it's German based or not. Um, I mean, it's more of a. At the end of the day, Tesla is going to be a worldwide tech company. Depends, not depending on where the headquarters is. It's going to be worldwide. So anyway, yeah, EVs is taking a beating. ARK is good. ARK is Tesla based, so ARK is a safe bet for EVs though. Anyway, let's not get sidetracked. And that happens to you guys too, right? Start looking at stocks. Like, ooh, so much information. It's you gotta stay focused. Excuse me. You gotta stay focused. So this is I like the setups of these companies, but today I have chosen as my winner to be FTK. So swing trade of the day for me so far. I mean, see the chart done moved a little bit on me since I last looked at this, but uh, I like the setup. I like the momentum. I like the fact it was trading down, and now it looks like we have a bit of reversal. Reverse here, kind of broke out, um, came back down, didn't make new lows, and jump back up. And usually you expect it to bounce again off of this the middle Bollinger Band, right? It didn't. I mean, yesterday. This is yesterday. So it did hit some resistance there and then broke out today, right? So now we're speculating that it's going to sit on top of that red band, right? And start trending up. And we have a reversal pattern indicated by the SAR indicator. The RSI is in overbought territory, which isn't good, but isn't necessarily a bad thing. I mean, RSI is just one indicator, but this is what I hold most dear is the MacD. The MacD is low, swinging low, and has crossed. The blue line has crossed. That blue line above the red line shows an uptrend. Look at these patterns. It's been in a downtrend for the longest. And so the speculation again is also everybody speculates, right? Unless you have insider information, which is illegal, right? So other than that, all you're doing is using it as taking as much information as you can to play to make a play on your money. So we're getting into green territory here. We're getting into an uptrend. Yes, it could reverse on you and switch back, and this could be a pump fake. But I feel confident because it's sitting so. It came down so low. If you feel like it hit a bottom, now it's bouncing back up, right? FTC is a chemical company. That also gives me a little confidence. Red flag is that they do deal with oil companies, but the technology side. But that's not their own. Their eggs aren't just in that basket. So read up on this company, Flowtech Industries, and read up on them. And this is a good play, man. I like it. I like it up. It's a cheap stock. I like to see it hit 250. I like to see this top Bollinger Band reverse to the upside. Right now, the Bollinger Bands are fading towards the downside still. But hopefully we get some strong volume. We need volume. So like here we had good volume, but then the volume left. We still didn't get a lot of sellers though. We just didn't get a lot of buyers. And so now he had a good volume spike yesterday. And so today is crucial. So if we get a good volume spike today, we should see this start to really reverse and go towards the upside. We don't have earnings to worry about because I had earnings back in November 16th. Earnings did disappoint. But again, I'm not an investor. I'm a swing trader. I trade for income. So I'm not holding this. This isn't no retirement, trade. So the couple things I want you guys to look out for is this thing is forming what I call the upside down bowl, or the George Jefferson, right? The bald head right here. Because it could come down and complete the bowl. You'll see that a lot. You'll see like the a cup and handle is a good trend, is a bullish trend, but this is like a reverse cup and handle. It doesn't have to be bullish too, but it's a pattern. And so usually this pattern isn't complete until it comes down here to the $1.60 mark and completes the bowl, and then it'll either go up from there or consolidate. Usually consolidates a little, then chooses a direction from there. So we have previous bowls like right here. So we had a previous bowl here, came down, then spiked back up, down, and fought, and then it couldn't do it no more. Brrr, dropped. So again, this isn't a long play. This is a swing trade, and the fact that it broke through these levels, see these two candlesticks, it broke through the red one, and we need to break over the green. So if it breaks 240, I feel very confident it's going to go higher, and I see it hitting the top of that. I wanted to hit the top of this Bollinger Band, and once it gets to that territory, I would probably sell. This is a quick, nice little swing trade, but I like the setup. I like the fact that it's just starting an upward trend. You could be a pump fake though, because look here, these three little dots on the SAR indicator showed an uptrend. Then you had a huge sell off, and then reversed. It didn't even last long, right? It doesn't look like the uptrends last very long in this pattern anyway, in this setup. But this could be the game changer. I like the way I like the MacD setup. So all we need is volume. So I will watch this the next few days. Number one thing to watch is the volume, and I like it. I love it. So I think it's a good swing trade. Gonna put I do debit spreads. I like debit spreads. The fact that it could drop, if it did drop, it could drop to $2. But I like a quick swing trade on that. Let's look at Apple. Apple has been in this flag pattern, broke out. Looks like I need to redraw my lines because look, it still is in a flag pattern, trending up, but waiting for it to break out. And it's lacking volume to do so. It wants to break out. It's lacking volume. I like what the MacD looks like. Look at the MacD. That looks good. RSI is in overbought territory. That means too much buying. It's overbought, overvalued, according to the RSI. So it may consolidate a little bit and come down more. I think we're still in the consolidation phase. At some point, Apple is just a juggernaut, and I think people are just cooling off from Apple a little bit. You had a lot of retail buyers in the market. All of them was all on Apple, just like they're on Tesla now. And I think they're just a little sick of Apple because there was a point even before the split. You would buy Apple, especially if you don't look at charts. You'd buy Apple, and you'll start. You have it for 2 weeks. It'll gain. You're like, oh man, you're a winner. You feel like you're a genius, and you're a stock guy because you're so far up on Apple. And then in one day, it'll erase like 2 weeks worth of gains because of the volatility in the market. So I think that people got burned with Apple because of that. They've came out with some good news. They have good products. It's just the market hasn't bought into it yet. But once volume returns back to the market, which I believe will be here after the presidential inauguration of Joe Biden, that we will have a leader of the country. Like we know who's the leader, and he's gonna put his own policies in. And a lot of that fear, no matter what your politics, but that fear or that uncertainty, the market hates uncertainty. And so once that uncertainty is out of the market, the buyers will return. And usually those buyers, while you're in the sideline, you put your money in gold, but that's old school and nobody does that no more. And gold is even volatile at this point. I like copper though, because of copper is used in industry, and seeing that China is back booming, like they're completely recovered from the COVID-19 as far as the economic effects of it. So they're back into manufacturing, and copper and platinum. Those metals are good for manufacturing. So if you were to do a play in metals, I mean that might be a good one too, though. But to me, at the end of the day, it's still stock. There's not too many safe havens, other than one. Let me go back to my favorite safe haven for me, CROX. I don't own a pair of Crocs though. Fashion. I can't see it happening. But look at this, nice chart, beautiful. I did a video on Crocs, so check out my video on Crocs. So Crocs is my anchor stock. But you need an anchor stock, right? So when the whole market is crashes and it's craziness, you can look at your anchor stock. And anchor stock might have it just brushes the shoulders off, like, oh, there's a little dust on it, but it's not hurt, it's not harmed. So Crocs has been that for me. I mean, they've had some big sell-offs like here because it was overbought. It was like way in the stratosphere up here, like way above the Bollinger Band. That's just not sustainable. You almost never buy a stock that's this far above the top of the Bollinger Band. Never. Now you want to own a stock previous to that, yes. So anyway, that's my pick for today. If you have any questions about anything else I have on here, feel free to ask. If you want me to analyze or give a technical analysis on another stock, let me know. But on this one, I mean, I didn't really draw lines or anything. I'm a line drawer, but I'll do a few, I guess. But I like my indicators have shown me all I need to see. So this is a trend line. Everybody draws trend lines. Some will be different, but we're all in the same ballpark. And so if this stock crashes, we expect it to find support here on this line at 210, 218 on the next day within 2 days. So each day it should get higher and higher. And let's do a technical analysis. Let's see. This is the line. Where are you following? It needs to break. Yep. So, all right. So, because yesterday it got all the way up to here. It wicked up to here and failed. And then on the 24th, it wicked up to here and failed. So that is sign of resistance. It showed support here on the 27th, support here on the 10th, support, and then broke support. It's now that support is upward resistance. It's a ceiling, right? And so we're trying to break through that ceiling. So if you want confirmation, right? So if you want to play it safe, let's zoom in. So if you want to play it safe, right? So hopefully it respects this red line, right? The pattern. If you want to play it safe, wait till it breaks. What is that? 239, 240? Wait till it breaks 240. So the thing about stocks too is if you don't know how to draw a resistance line, just a simple basic way of gauging resistance is usually like the $half mark, whole numbers, right? So like if a stock gets up to let's say it's at $4.60 or something, and you're not sure you should buy. So you wait. You can wait so your next level, without even looking at a chart or anything, it will be $5. Because what'll happen is it either be $5 or 500. I don't care what stock it is. It will hit resistance like at 498. If you're talking about $4.98, you're talking about $498. It'll hit resistance at that 498, bounce down, and then try to break through, right? And then it'll break through that $5 mark, but it'll come back down, right? Because there'll be some selling. There'll be some fear. People feel it's at a high. So it'll come back down, and so it'll get to 502, bounce back up and keep going, or it'll break back down through 500 and go down to like 450. It can just completely fail. So with this chart, instead of 450, you're looking at $2.40 as the next level, right? Especially with stocks that's trading like below $5. then those cents markers are important. Usually the 10-cent increments is what each fight is, right? It's like a football game, right? 10 yards. So it's a 10-yard fight for each increment. In this one, we want to break 240, and then 250 is a challenge. We've got a couple. Actually, I like this right here. I like. So look at all these failed breakouts to the upside. So I like that as an next resistance level. And looks like the top of that Bollinger Band is heading towards it too. And so hopefully we'll see a bounce here of the Bollinger Band as the stock moves up. But we have to watch it. So whatever the information does for you, hopefully it helps you play your stocks accordingly. I like this. I like the chart setup of this stock. I've got quite a few other ones. I've got a video on ACB, so check out my video on that. I got a video on CROX, which is one of my anchor stocks that keeps no matter how if I have a red day or not, the CROX is holding strong, right? Our volume is starting to slow a little bit, though. I'm a little concerned about that, but I'm actually. It's funny because the CROX is one of those stocks, especially if you have a strong anchor stock. When it actually goes down, you're kind of happy. You're like, "Ooh, I can buy more," right? Like because it rarely ever touches this red line, right, of the Bollinger Band, and that's an indicator. It's a moving average indicator. But I like to keep my videos simple and try not to nerd it up too much because I can get real deep into it. But like even back here, it just rode that line, man, as support. Rode that line. It broke through a rare breakout here, breakdown in September, which man, you should have loaded up on that, huh? And then look, that's what people actually exactly what people did too. They saw the value in CROX, bought, and it exploded through the top of the Bollinger Band, and then settled back down again because of the crazy buying. Bounced off that red line of the Bollinger Band again, and it's a constant level of support. So with evidence such as this gives me a lot of confidence in CROX. I would love to, you know, if it hits here again. I mean, I bought it. I recently just discovered CROX. I bought it around here, the $60 mark, a few days ago. But then I saw this chart. I was like, man, how to overlook CROX? I don't ever think like who buys that. Like, it's weird. Another story too. And so, excuse me, being aware of the market when you're out consuming, right? So we were in Disney with the family, with my family, and we went to the Tanger outlets down there, and it was a huge line, right? So it was crazy anyway because of COVID. We were masked up and stuff, and there's a lot of good safety precautions down there. So we decided just to dip in. It was a huge line. I was like, what store is that going to? And you would think it was like, Coach Outlet or Under Armour or something that's popular. No, it was Crocs. Like, every people was in line like, this line for Crocs? It was a line down the whole plaza for Crocs. And I was like, holy, and maybe glad I'm a shareholder of Crocs. I'm like, awesome. Good job, guys. I guess I need to put my money where my mouth is and buy a pair, I guess. So, but man, so Crocs, yeah, I'm loving the stock. I'm high on Crocs. So if you haven't got that by now. So anyway, this is Reggie with Stock Talk with Reggie. If you have any questions, feel free to message me. And again, I'm just sharing my knowledge. There's a lot of information out there. We all have our own different strategies. I don't believe one is better than the other, but I think you should just take the information and use what you learned or these different perspectives and marry it to your trading style and also the style that matches your financial goals. Again, one thing I've always said, treat your money like your children, and you're trying to and the stocks are like trying to pick a babysitter for your kids, right? So you want your kids to go with somebody that's safe, somebody that's going to help educate them, maybe play with them, keep them entertained, do their homework with them, or you don't want to drop your kids off with somebody who's just going to watch TV and let them just have their way and not even pay attention to them. And so you want to drop your kids off and pick them up in a better condition than when you drop them off. Same thing with your money. You want to drop your money off with a company that's going to grow it and develop it, and that's good for it, and you feel safe. And then when you go to pick it back up, it's better than when you dropped it off. This is Reggie. Feel free to comment if you like the channel. Please let YouTube know by subscribing and liking this video. Also, so you can get alerts, because I'm going to post, I do a lot of research on my stocks. I do technical analysis. I try to keep my videos very basic and simple to understand without getting too nerdy about it. And I got that from, I was in college. Quick story. I was in college. We had a math teacher who was a math major, and he taught in a way of, he were teaching us who were below his level, but he taught in a way, he taught methods that he felt we should know because he knew them. But hey, bro, you're the math major, not me. You're teaching me. Come down to my level, teach me these things that you know, and but don't. So anyway, I didn't like his teaching. So anyway, I changed classes. So you're the math major. Don't talk to us as if we are. Know your audience. So anyway, I'm trying to keep it simple. And if I say things that you don't understand, feel free to YouTube it. And there are explanations on debits, credit spreads, volatility, the VIX. If you need to know all this stuff, I try to keep my videos simple. So if you need to know these things, feel free to Google it. Or you can always message me and I'll give you the best answer that I know of. Again, this is Reggie. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.